Fight On Family, Preston's Paradise here. Noticed yesterday when I put out the poor performance video about USC, a lot of you guys in the comments asked me about, portal targets for this upcoming period and, going into next season, who do I think the Trojans may be interested in? Like, who do I think the Trojans could use to improve on, where we were deficient with on the field this year? So I have a list of about 8 to 9 guys here. Doing portal projections is very difficult, especially with NIL, the relationship point with, what that means to, get these players and their past relationships with certain coaches on certain staffs. We all know there's a lot of tampering that goes on within the transfer portal as well. But let's just get into this. Big-time defensive tackle, nose tackle, Keyshawn Silver out of Kentucky. 6'4", 336 pounds. Yes, 336 pounds. I know it's hard to believe because the guy does not have a stomach. He's actually built like a transformer, some type of Decepticon or something. It is truly unbelievable, man. This is a big-time football player. Had 43 tackles in 24 games. 26 tackles just last season in the SEC, doing a great job. If he's tacking up, 26 tackles in the season, he's stopping the run. Unbelievable on film. Just it's a freak of an athlete. This is a guy that's going to be very expensive in the portal. So we're going to have to look and see if USC can make a run at him. This is, like I said before, this is the most important portal period of Lincoln Riley's tenure at USC. So yeah, spend the money if you want to win and you want to succeed in the Big Ten, right? Big time run stopper, as I said, has the relationship with Sean Nua, being recruited by Sean Nua at Michigan back in the day. He is a junior right now, so he'd be coming in as a senior next year. And, just a big piece. We've struggled to stop the run. It has been a lot better this year, but a guy like this in the middle is can't miss box office. You got to have him. So hopefully USC can make that happen. Here we have an offensive lineman in Macklin Pounders, 6'5", 310 pounds, big SEC offensive lineman. And play guard, has played left tackle and right tackle over the last few years. Had an average, pass blocking grade of around, low 70s to high 70s in the SEC when he was playing. Really did a good job, against that SEC competition. Here, relationship wise, you have the Anthony Jones piece. Anthony Jones is currently the running back coach on the USC Trojans, but he actually helped recruit this guy to Memphis when he was in high school, right? So hopefully that relationship can blossom a little bit, and we can make this happen. I've talked about that right tackle position, how it's scaring me a little bit. You have Tobias Raymond coming up, competing for the spot. You also have Mason Murphy in the room, but we've definitely got to improve when it comes to that right tackle spot. So here's a guy that can really play left tackle, can play right tackle, but would love to see compete in that room at that right tackle spot. Macklin Pounders. Now let's look at this wideout, Nick Anderson from University of Oklahoma, 6'4", 219 pounds. So you see already great size, great athleticism, man. Deep threat, big time playability. The guy had 10 touchdowns for Oklahoma last year. He's got brothers out in the NFL. And you got the Dennis Simmons relationship piece here. Dennis Simmons was his main recruiter over there at Oklahoma. And he has shown interest in being at USC. Went on a visit to USC in the past. So was interested in the program. And I don't personally think that we're going to see many departures in the wide receiver room. I pray. I don't hope it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. We have seen Kyron Hudson enter the transfer portal a couple days ago. But I believe our sophomore receivers will stay intact. I believe they do want to be USC Trojans. So this is the only wide receiver that I picked up and put on the list. I thought the relationship piece was just, very interesting, and a hell of an athlete Nick Anderson is. So he would be a nice addition to that wide receiver room. Okay, very interesting prospect here when it comes to Elliot Donald. A versatile defensive lineman at 6'3", 270 pounds. You see Donald and you guessed it. Yes, this is Aaron Donald's nephew, right? So Aaron Donald's nephew, we know the relationship that Coach Henney has with Aaron Donald, coaching him with the Rams. They seem to be very tight. We've seen Aaron Donald on campus. We've seen him at games this year, so this could be we could be tied in and ready for Elliot Donald. And we know how good of coaches we have at USC as far as defensive line development. I think best in the country. People in the comments could tell me if I'm wrong or tell me they're top defensive lineman coaches in the country. But we've seen the progression that a guy like Kobe Pepe made this year. We've seen the progression that a guy like Devin Tompkins have made this year. And we got Aaron Donald's nephew, right? Motivated, redshirt sophomore. Obviously, he's got the pedigree and versatile at a 6'3", 270 pounds. I think he could play all over the line. I think it could help a lot of the ends, just rotational, as well as the interior defensive linemen. And he's got untapped potential that I think Henny and Nua can really tap in with. And he has college experience as well. You know, he's not a redshirt freshman. He's not a freshman. He is a redshirt sophomore, so he knows what it's like to be a collegiate athlete. And I think it could be a perfect situation for both parties if we're able to snag Elliot Donald out of the portal. Another big dog on that defensive line, defensive tackle Gabriel Lightfoot, 6'3", 296 pounds, 37 tackles last year. Big time run stopper, nasty. Cali kid, I believe he's from Corona. You know, we saw some of that stuff that Fresno State front did this year. I remember watching the Michigan game, man. Just did a great job, you know, stopping the run and playing Michigan very well, getting to the quarterback. Gabriel's a junior right now, but would love to get this guy on the roster, get this guy in the program. This is exactly what we need, man. I talked about the earlier defensive linemen. This is the biggest emphasis, I think, this year in the portal. Getting these big dogs up front to stop the run, disrupt the opposing team's quarterback, and get in the backfield. So Gabriel Lightfoot would be a huge get for the USC Trojans in the portal, and hopefully we can make it happen. Interesting prospect at linebacker here with Muhammad Kaba, 6'3", 241 pounds. The guy's a great athlete, right? Interesting story. 2020 gets a coach's all freshman team in the SEC. 2022, he's a South Carolina's most improved spring player. And then he has a season-ending injury in 2023. So he is currently a redshirt senior. He'd be coming in for his last year eligibility. And I just love the plays that he made in the SEC, man. When you look at him on YouTube, made a bunch of big-time tackles, fast, athletic backer. Also, you know, not the smallest backer, especially in today's college football landscape. Has Dennis Simmons ties, being recruited by Dennis Simmons at a certain point coming out of high school. And would be very, very essential for the linebacker room, right? You have Gentry coming back. Rajon Davis coming off the red shirt, coming back. But other than that, it's going to be a lot of young linebackers in there. So would love to get an older guy in there with a lot of experience to help teach, you know, these guys how to do the right things. And we'll wait and see what happens with the linebacker coach, because I think that is something that's holding us up a little bit when it comes to picking up linebackers in the portal, unfortunately. So hopefully we can get that done. But would really enjoy to have this guy be part of this team. Big offensive lineman Josh Thompson out of Northwestern, currently a junior, standing 6'5", 301 pounds. Very experienced cat, right? Honorable mention All Big Ten last year. He has 21 starts and 31 games played, and played guard and tackle, right? So in terms of what happens with this offensive line room and, you know, the group moving forward throughout the spring into next fall, there may be a little bit of musical chairs. A lot of these offensive linemen that I have in this portal video, they can play a guard. They can play a tackle, either a left tackle or a right tackle. And I think Josh is one of those guys. I mean, used to the tough play of the Big Ten that USC is in right now. So would be a great piece to go in that room and help us, you know, win some games next year. Last two cats in these videos are really developmental pieces, but pieces that I think could play in the USC secondary and could help in the USC secondary next season. Here you got a defensive back, Jaleel Hurley, out of Alabama, 6'2", 185 pounds. Great athlete, right? Played wide receiver, returned kicks in high school, was a big time recruit coming out of high school. Just hasn't been able to get on the field at Alabama. Obviously, you know, it's a lot of talent at Alabama. But Lynn and this defensive staff, Belk and these guys, they love the bigger corners, the longer corners. And, you know, he's a guy that, you know, I have him labeled at DB right here because he could easily play a corner or a safety. So he's really got great size to play anywhere in the secondary, has great ball skills and athleticism. We're going to see, hopefully we got some coaches on staff that, I know Belk is at Alabama. That was like in 2014 though. So this kid doesn't know who Belk is, but maybe we got some ties we could go down to the SEC. You see what I'm doing in this video as well, right? A lot of SEC guys, the Big Ten and the SEC are the best conferences in America, but the SEC still has that rule that you can't go to another SEC opponent when you're transferring, right? So not all these people are going to be able to go to Oregon. I think USC will be able to make some moves in the portal this year. I talked about it being very important, and Jaleel Hurley would be a big-time get in the defensive back room. Jaleel also is a redshirt freshman. Here we have another offensive lineman at offensive tackle, Hunter Erb, 6'6", 330 pounds. Currently is a sophomore at Texas A&M in the SEC. And, you know, a guy that was recruited by Josh Henson and, you know, has elite size. Just got to get it together. Just needs the opportunity. Got to continue to develop. But a player like this is one that I would love to have in our offensive line room. Just to push the youngsters or maybe even compete, you know, for a starting job since he is so young, only being a sophomore. So Hunter Erb, definitely saw him in the transfer portal and thought he could help the USC Trojans room. That is the end of the video. The transfer portal is going to get crazier. There's a bunch of people that are going to jump in. That's kind of why I was hesitant on making one of these videos, but so many people were asking for it. So, you know, I just kind of did some research and found some guys I thought could really help us that we actually might have a shot at. And yeah, man, enjoyed doing the video. Hope you guys have a good day. It's a great Saturday. We got Georgia playing Texas right now. The game just started. Fight on, baby. Like and subscribe for more content like this.